Passive voice, you're just supposed to use past participle and not past form or root form of the verb, and not even the ing form, right? You are taking the extra verb of the same tense. In simple present, it is mr, extra verb. In simple past, it is was verb. Who taught you English? So this question is beginning with WH word, which is what, where, why, who, and so on. So do you understand that there are two types of questions here? Number one, which are beginning with helping verb, and number two, which are beginning with WH word, right? Hello students, let us start with the second topic of your course, that is voice. Okay, now what is voice, children? Voice is normal English sentence, right? Where we have subject, where we have verb, and then when we have object, right? So basically voice is the normal subject, right? The normal sentence, right? Now we have two kinds of voice. One is active voice and one is passive voice. When subject does the work, it is active voice. And when something has been done to subject, it is passive voice, right? So basically we're not going to get much into the definition or something. We are going to understand how a sentence is converted from active to passive voice and from passive to active voice, right? So here, as I told you, there are two kinds of voice, right? So one is active and one is passive. Let us first understand what is active voice. Children, what is active voice? When the subject comes first and the subject is performing any action, right? Let us understand this also through an example. I do the work. Here, I is the subject and I is doing some work, right? So when the action is being done by subject, it is known as active voice. Let us see second example. She or he does this work. Here also, subject, that is he or she, is doing the work. So when subject, that is person, place, or thing, is doing something or something has been done by subject, this is known as active voice. On contrary to it, when something has been done to subject, right, it is known as passive voice. Like as I told you, I do the work. Here, this work is done by me. So object has become the subject and subject has become the object. It is known as passive voice. And then something has been done to subject, right? So this work is done by her or him, or this this work is done by me. So earlier we read I do the work, that has been changed. Now subject has gone to at the last, and we have started the sentence with object. So active voice, the sentence starts with subject. Passive voice, the sentence ends with the doer, right, or the person who's doing the work, right? So let us go ahead further. Okay, so let us understand first of all the the framing of the sentence. So active says that Monica opened the door. Here Monica is a subject, verb is opened, and object is door, right? Now when we change this sentence from active to passive, what we are going to do is, the door has come first, right? The door was opened by Monica. The doer has gone at the last, right? So this is how a subject is, the active sentence is changed to passive sentence, okay? Now let us understand the basic rules of changing a sentence from active to passive, okay? Now the first basic rule is, the sentence is framed how in active voice? Subject, verb, object. But when we change a sentence from active to passive, object becomes the subject, then verb, and then the earlier which was subject now becomes the object. Okay, so first rule is subject becomes the object, object becomes the subject, right? This is first major rule. Second rule is by is used before the doer, right? Who is the doer? The subject, right? Suppose if I'm saying I do the work, I am the doer, right? And when I'm going to change this sentence from active to passive, I am going to use by before the doer when the sentence goes to passive. For example, I do the work is done by me, So before me, I have put by. So by is put before the doer when a sentence is changed from active to passive voice. But let me tell you, by will not always be used. There are two conditions when you're not going to use by: when the doer is automatically known or when the doer is unknown. Okay, let us see examples of this as well. People speak English. Now, English is spoken. Automatically we understand that who will speak English? People, right? So we are not specifying any name here. So when it is automatically known that English is spoken by people, we do not put here. And when the doer is unknown, someone robbed the house. The house had been robbed by someone, right? So by someone we're not going to put because the doer is unknown. Okay, so in two cases the by before the doer or the doer is not put. Number one, when the doer is unknown, and second, when the doer is automatically known, right? So this is how it goes. And third is, in active sentence you may have verbs first form, you may have verbs second form, you may have verbs third form, you may have verbs ing form, but in passive voice we just have verbs third form. Is that clear? So verbs third form is also known as past participle. Verbs first form, the base form or the root form. Verbs second form, the past form, right? And the third one is past participle. So in passive voice you're just supposed to use past participle and not past form or root form of the verb, and not even the ing form, right? So in passive sentence only verbs third form is used. Okay, let me hear one more basic rule, children. One more basic rule is, whenever a subject whenever a sentence is changed from active to passive, one verb automatically increases. Okay, so when you're changing a sentence from active to passive, make sure that one verb is increasing. And when you again change the sentence from passive to active, one verb automatically decreases, right? So this is how we are going to understand this, and we are going to understand this through examples also and rules also. Okay, so these were the basic rules. Okay, so now we are going to understand how in a particular head of tense the sentence changes from active to passive. Okay, now here first of all, simple present, okay, which is also known as present indefinite. What is the sentence? He writes the letter. So how would you term it? Subject, verb and object, right? He over here is subject, writes over here is verb, and then the letters here is object, right? But when we change the sentence from active to passive, what we are doing is the letters are written by him. What did we do, children? Here, first of all, the object, the letters has come in the beginning, and then one verb automatically increases, I told you. So what are you going to increase in it is, am or are, depending on the need of the sentence, right? So here we have put are. The verb, main verb, always goes into the third form. So here writes has gone into written and by him, because it was he over here and now it changes to him. So he writes letter, the letters are written by him. Okay, so here subject, verb, object. Now subject, verb's first form and object changes to object, then ismr, verb's third form and subject. Okay, so now let's look at the next example. Past simple, simple past, or past simple. Here we have subject, verb's second form and object. Okay, he is here subject, wrote verb's second form, the letters object. And what are we going to do when we are going to change this sentence from active to passive, children? We are going to first of all put the object, that is the letters. I told you one verb will increase. So what are the two verbs that we can put in simple past? Was or were, depending on singular or plural thing, right? So here were, because there are more than one letter, there is more than one letter. So were written, writes. Here it is wrote, which is second form of verb. Here we are going to put the third form of verb, and were written by him. Okay, so in simple present, we put the extra verb from is, am, are. Simple past, we can put extra verb from was and were. Okay, like was for singular and were for plural. Okay, let us come to present continuous, right? Present continuous, what is the sentence structure, children? Subject, is, mr, verb ing, and object, right? Main verb and then object, right? So now let us see the example. He is writing the letter, right? He over here is the subject. Is writing is the is the helping verb. Writing is the main verb. The letters is object. Okay. Now when we are going to change this sentence, is, mr is already here, and being is the extra verb that we are going to put. Now how does the sentence become? The letters are being written by him. So being is the extra verb that we have put. Children, remember one thing, you're not going to change the tense of helping verb. Only the main verb goes into the third form. Here also it is writing, but here it is written. You can see in the first case also verb's third form is written in the main verb. In the second case also, verb's third form is written as a main verb, and here also it is written. So as I told you in the main rules also, like in active voice you can use verbs first form, second form, third form, ing form, but in passive form you're going to use only verb's third form, which is verb's past participle form. Okay, let us proceed with the fourth thing, children, past continuous. What is the sentence structure of past continuous? Subject, okay, was or were, verbs ing form, and object. Okay, so how is it? Subject is he, okay, he, was or were we put depending on the singular or plural thing. Writing, okay, ing form of write, the letters. But when we are going to change the sentence from active to passive, being is the thing that we, the extra verb that we add. Remember, in continuous you are going to add being in past also and in present also. So here subject becomes the object, that is the letters come first. The letters were, as it because the letters are plural over here, so we put were. Being is the extra verb that you add. Written, because writing goes to written. Writing is the ing form of verb or present participle form of verb, and written is the third form of verb, right? And by him, by the doer, right? So this is how it got changed. Let us concentrate on future simple, right? Or simple future, right? He will write the letters. Here, what is the sentence structure of simple future, children? Subject, will, shall, first form of verb, object, right? Now when we are changing this sentence from active to passive, how does it go, children? The letters, which is here object, goes to subject. Will, as it is. Be is the extra verb that you are adding, and again verb's third form in write will come, that is written by him. So what is the extra verb that you are adding over here? It is be. Okay, now let us focus on the next thing. Okay, he is going to write the letter. Okay, the letter the letters are going to be written. Okay, so written by him, or here by him is going to come, right? And present perfect tense. Present perfect tense, what is the sentence structure? Subject plus has, have, plus verb's third form automatically, and then the object. Let us see here. He is the subject. Has or have comes. Has comes for singular, and have comes for plural. Written, the verb's third form, and letters, right? Now when we change this sentence, the extra verb that you're going to add here is been, B-E-E-N, been, right? So when you change this sentence from active to passive, how does it go? the letters which was object over here becomes the subject here. The letters have, because letters are plural, so here has because he was singular, right? But when letters become subject, according to that we are going to add have. Been is the extra verb that you're adding. Written will be as it is written because it is already verb's third form, by him. Okay, so here the extra verb that you have added is been, right? Let us move to past perfect. What is the sentence structure of past perfect, children? It is subject, had, okay, verb's third form and object. Let us see this. It is subject is he, had has been put as a helping verb, written, verb's third form comes after it, and the object. But when you're changing this sentence from active to passive, how does it go, children? The letters, which was object over here, becomes the subject here, right? So the letter had is already there, okay? Been is the extra verb that you are adding, written by him, okay? So this is how it goes. Now let us understand, the infinitive, to infinitive, right? He has to write the letter, right? So this same thing, be, we are going to add over here. Here the letters have to be written by him. So whenever to infinitive is used, you add the extra verb be, right? And same thing with modals also, children. Modals also we are going to take up. This is a bit tough topic that usually students mess up with. So later on we are going to take that topic as well. He must write the letters. The letters must be written by him. So we saw in going to also, in infinitive also, to infinitive also, and modals also, what extra verb you are adding, children? Be. Okay. So I guess it is very much clear that in simple present and simple past, you are taking the extra verb of the same tense. In simple present, it is mr, extra verb. In simple past, it is was were. When we come to continuous, the verb that is already there will stay as it is, but being will be added. In perfect, you're going to add been. With has, have, had, you're going to add been. Is that clear? So this is how it goes. And in future, you're going to add be. Okay. So this is how these are the normal sentences. When you convert from active to passive, these are the basic rules. Okay. Children, after completing my explanation of the topics, I would just take an extra lesson for, the questions that have already come in BITSAT. Of active, passive and subject verb agreement, that also the lecture has been given to you. So, we're going to take questions that had already come in the question paper, right? So, let us move forward. Okay. So, this is the request, advice. Usually such sentences do come. Shut the door. If I say stand, this is also a sentence. If I say, give me a glass of water, right? If I say sit, if I say stand in line, okay, all these are either command, request, advice, warning, right? So how to convert these sentences from active to passive, right? So for example, if I take shut the door, this sentence can be converted in two ways, children. Okay. First one is let the by using let the door be shut. We are going to add be over here. So you can do these sentences starting from let as well. But if you're not using let, or if this sentence structure is not in your options, what is the second formula of doing it? You're going to use you are requested or you are ordered to shut the door. Okay, so these are two ways of doing it, children. Okay, tell him to go, let him be told to go. So either you can start these sentences with let, which is perfectly fine, but what if these sentences, the let option is not there, present there? So in that case, you are requested, you are ordered, you are commanded, right? For example, if I say don't touch the wire, okay, let the wire not be touched by you is one thing. And we can also say that you are warned not to touch the wire. Okay. Sit. Okay, so this when we just have single verb and we don't have any object, you are going to do it with the second formula, that is, you are ordered to sit. Is that clear? Bring a glass of water. Let the glass of water be brought by you, or you are requested to bring a glass of water. So both the sentence structures can be used to convert the sentences which carry order, request, advice, warning, and so on, right? So this is how it goes. Okay, so same thing, I was discussing this earlier as well, children, that the second sentence structure, used to change these sentences, which are order, request, and advice sentences. The second way of changing them is you are requested, you are ordered, you are commanded. So this has been shown in this slide, right? How, children? Please do not smoke. So you are requested not to smoke, right? So maybe if it is not please, it is do not smoke, you are requested not to smoke. Basically these sentences do not have objects, right? So you have to start these sentences with you. Whom do you give orders, requests, or advices? Directly to the second person, right? So that's how you are requested not to smoke. Please go there. You are requested to go there, right? So obey your teacher. Your teacher must be obeyed or should be obeyed. Keep your word. You should keep your word. So this is how the sentences are converted from active to passive, okay? All right, so these are question sentences, right? So one thing is, children, question sentences, in this, if the sentence is starting with, there are two types of questions. One, questions that begin with only helping verb, okay? Do, did, right? Such kinds of words, right? Like which are helping verb. And second question, second types of questions are the questions which begin with WH word, right? How? Like if it is, do you see the bird? It is beginning with do, which is a helping verb. Let me take you to the another slide, which says, who taught you English? So this question is beginning with WH word, which is what, where, why, who, and so on. So do you understand that there are two types of questions here? Number one, which are beginning with helping verb, and number two, which are beginning with WH word, right? Let us go to the previous slide, children. Okay, so do you see the bird? So in this, you have to first of all identify that which tense the question belongs to. It is simple present, right? So in simple present, which is the helping verb that you add, children? It is, am, are, isn't it? So is, am, are, whatever suits your, this sentence, you're going to add is the bird, which is the bird is object here. We are going to make it subject here. Seen, because see is first form of verb, but in passive we just use third form of verb. So instead of see, we are going to put seen here by you, right? Because it is you, so by you. So first of all, in sentences or question sentences, you're going to identify that which tense the question belongs to, and same extra verb that we have studied in the previous slides, right? You're going to add the same extra verb to it, okay? And you're going to convert the sentence the same way. Subject becomes the object, object becomes the subject, right? So this is how it goes. Let us see second example. Did you see the man? This is simple past, right? So in simple past, what is the extra verb that you added, children? It was or were. So here also, was the man seen by you? Okay. So first of all, you will have to remember what extra verb are you adding to the sentence. Let us first, quickly recall. In simple present, what is the extra verb that we add? Is, MR. Simple past, was, were. Okay, then it is present continuous, it is being. Past continuous, it is being, right? Present perfect, it is been. Past perfect, it is been, right? So, and then come to future, it will be be, okay? So this is how it is going to go. You're going to remember that what extra verb you are adding. Alright, so students, so let us see how do we change the WH, question sentences. So here also we need to identify, first of all, the tense of the given sentence, right? So who taught you English? This is simple past, right? But one thing is, children, the question sentence always starts with the same question word that is there in the active, except who. Who changes to by whom. Rest every question word remains same. Where starts with where. What starts with what. Is that clear? Only the question word that changes is who, which goes to by whom, right? And rest the rules are same. You're going to add the verb that you're supposed to add, right? And then object becomes a subject and subject becomes the object. Now here, who taught you English? By whom were you taught English? Clear? And which book do you want? Which is a simple present thing. So which book is wanted by you? Remember, verbs first form, verbs second form, and verbs third form, and verbs ing form always goes to, always go to verbs third form, right? So this is how it goes. Now it is quasi passive voice. What do you mean by the word quasi? It pretends to be something else, but it is not. So it pretends that yes, you're changing the sentence from active to passive, but usually it is not so much changed. Let us understand, this part of the, topic through examples. Honey tastes sweet. And how are we changing it? Honey is sweet when it is tasted. Usually in this, the verb goes at the end of the sentence, at the last, right? The rose smells sweet. The rose is sweet when it is smelt. So here the verb has to be changed to the third form of verb, but it goes at the end. The house is building. The house is being built. Okay. The book is printing. The book is being printed. Okay, so this is how here the verb, the main verb, is going at the end of the sentence. These are known as quasi passive voice, right? Okay, so here prepositions, right? So prepositions are put according to the need of the sentence. Okay, so there is no fixed thing that yes, with this sentence we are going to put this preposition. It is put according to the demand of the sentence, right? So I know the fact is known to me. Okay, by me will not come, obviously, which doesn't suit to the sentence and which doesn't suffice our need also. So light filled the room was filled with light. By light we cannot say, right? Obviously preposition is going to come here. So with light. Her manner pleased us very much. We were very much pleased by her, with her manners, right? So preposition has come here. The poems of Tagore interest me. I'm interested in the poems of Tagore, right? So basically the prepositions are also put according to the need and demand of the sentence. All right. Okay, so this is the end of the slide, children, and this is all we have in this topic. But yes, very soon I am going to discuss few questions that have come already in the question paper, the PYQs, right? So we are going to do that very soon, and we're going to discuss what was the trick that was used in them, and was there anything else that we require, or are there any other points that we need to focus upon while we are doing it? We are going to do them, we are going to understand them while doing some questions. Thank you so much. That's all.